S&P Global is sounding a positive tune on South Africa and says current economic dynamics are helping the country's outlook.
This was underpinned mostly by a projection of GDP growth of 1.5% for 25 and 26. But the two other main factors supporting that affirmation of the rating was the commitment of the National Government of Union to support and continue fiscal consolidation. And a very important factor in the South African economy that is very different from other economies in Africa is that the rating is really supported by a deep capital market domestically that gives the government the flexibility to get more fiscal funding from the local market. And second, the rand is an actively traded currency. So that gives the government, again, a level of flexibility that supports the level of rating.
Lapalek emphasized the need to continue to focus on structural reforms to catalyze improvement in the country's economy and thereby its social imperatives, like the diminishing of unemployment and other social ills. He added that growth had to be sufficient to make a positive impact on all in society.
I think that when you look at sovereign ratings, what matters mostly is the GDP per capita, the GDP per capita growth, and the quality of how that revenue is generated, and that comes across a variety of sectors in the economy, which is the case in South Africa. And it's also supported by, as I mentioned before, a domestic financial market, and equally importantly, the predictability and the reliability of the institutional and the finance framework. So I agree that focusing on GDP growth is important, but that's not the only factor.
With South Africa having languished in credit junk status for several years, S&P Global is now talking about the possibility of a credit rating upgrade in the foreseeable future, taking the country's financial and economic attractiveness a further notch up.
2025, the positive outlook reflects a likelihood of about 30% that the rating could get upgraded, so to straight BB within the next 18 months to 2 years.
An upgrade in the country's credit rating will go some way in helping to reduce the cost of borrowing. But a lot of work still needs to be done to get to a point where the country's debt levels are reasonable enough for the country to attract more positive investment ratings again. Nampumelo Siziba, SABC News, Johannesburg.